Hi everyone, so I just wanted to make a short video just explaining my first impressions of Escape from Tarkov. I've been playing EFT now for about a month. I've done 2 wipe cycles, and to be honest, I'm really impressed by what I've seen so far. So yeah, like I said, just want to give some of my first impressions and let you know kind of how I feel about it. So yeah, first of all, it's the graphics. This game is beautiful, and don't be judging it solely on what you see behind you. My computer isn't good enough to run it as well as this game probably should and deserves to be run. It's this level of detail that I think really immerses you in the game, and this is so important because it really makes you feel like you're there, and when you run around, it influences your gameplay because you won't treat this like a Destiny or a first-person shooter of that ilk where you kind of jump about and try to go for the kills. Instead, you play it more like a survival game, definitely, making sure that you check your corners and only go into combat when you know you have an advantage in some shape or form. And yeah, there's still some optimization issues that definitely affect this. Hopefully we'll see in the next couple of updates. We're still only in 0.1. We'll see more and more improvements made on this. Next, I just want to talk about the importance of sound in this game. I haven't played a game in a while that puts the emphasis that this game does on sound, and especially not having a HUD or a radar or anything like that, sound really becomes your first line of defense in a lot of situations in Escape from Tarkov. As well as that, obviously, like the sound design on some of the guns and the environments are wonderful, and really, again, just like the graphics, add to this immersion. The next part I want to touch on, and to be honest, I think probably is the crux of Escape from Tarkov, is the looting. This is a loot and shoot, and a loot and shoot in its almost purest form. It really allows you to go in onto these missions and grab these unique gear depending what the people have brought in, or what the scavs have, or what you may find in the loot crates. By doing this, you can obviously arm up your guy, and you can start to build more and more loadouts depending what you actually escape with from the map. This, I think, is a brilliant evolution from, say, something like DayZ. Really, kind of, I think, is where I first got the bug, where you go onto these massive maps, choosing where you go and look for this loot, and once you've armed up your guy, you've now got absolutely loads of guns. You can survive for ages out in the I guess the woods or whatever you were doing in DayZ. But DayZ always had this issue that once you'd got that, like as soon as you got all of this great gear, you almost didn't want to go and meet people, because some guy with a shotgun when you weren't looking could just come round and blast your head off, and then take everything that you've spent hours and running around for flipping ages to acquire. And Escape from Tarkov, I think, has a really good counter to that with the vault. Very much like Destiny, it has this kind of place off of the maps that you can put all of your stash and gear that you've got, and by doing this, it allows the player to still feel like they're progressing and getting more and more gear, even if they may lose some if the raid doesn't go successful. But I think they're forever growing, and it's that loot attachment that I think so many players will be drawn to, and I think probably is one of the main things I was drawn to in this game. And I think I think they've really got it, because DayZ finally implemented the tent, but that dictated where you stayed on the map, because if you weren't gonna use that tent, then why on earth did you have it? And why were you putting gear up there if you weren't going to regularly go back and use that gear? And you were just asking for someone to find it if you weren't kind of patrolling. And so I think Escape from Tarkov has really found a nice counter to that. Okay, next, just really quickly, the gameplay. Like all first-person shooters on the Unity engine, I think this has really good gameplay. All the guns feel really solid when you shoot them. I think some of the movement in this game feels a little clunky still. I find that when I crouch and then go prone and then go to crouch to stand up again, my character doesn't want to really stand up, and so I often have to run for a split second to get my dude to kind of stand up in his in his full posture, which can be a little annoying, especially when you're trying to sneak up on people, and then you just want to like be able to look through a window to see if you can see him, and if you're crouching, you can't obviously do that, so you kind of got to give your position away for a second and hope they don't kind of really know where you are. Grenades, I think, are something that need to be worked on a little bit. The idea that you could like roll a grenade into a door maybe, or at least decide in some shape or form how much distance you put on that grenade. At the minute, it seems like my guy just chucks it as hard as he can, which is kind of fair enough because it is a grenade, but it would be nice to see if you could eventually, like, as you breach a door, just chuck that in, or, you know, kind of things like that. I think that would be really good, because obviously camping will be a part of this game. People will choose the option to let someone else run around, and they'll wait for them on a corner to kill them. You know, I think it's part of it. You should be able to just counter it rather than kind of expect that demise.
Ну давай, давай!
Also, with scav mode coming in the next update, I think this will allow players to kind of experiment more, and also it'll mean that every time you go do a normal raid, you're going to be coming up against people that are going to be taking more and more chances, being more and more aggressive to try and get your stuff, especially like essentially on a free pass. And so I think, you know, from the next update, again, Escape from Tarkov will take a massive shift where you'll have to double think everything, because you never know if that guy is a real person and is he using the scavs to his advantage, like doubling up, trying to pretending to be one, knowing at the last minute that he can change his decision because people have got used to what the scavs do, and like maybe chucking grenades in while the other scavs keep them busy, and really trying to play that support role could really change the gameplay of this game. Finally, I just want to touch on the future of EFT and what I think with the skills being added in this next update, that'll be really interesting to see how they're gained, like what kind of trees they have and how much actual kind of time they take to do, and if they'll be quite simple, or if you'll notice people farming to do certain things to actually get them, and how much, you know, kind of boost they'll give, or have we lost stuff from our initial characters, what we were playing with in this update? Will they now be slower or worse accuracy, for that to be improved as the skills go? Also, I think that a few new maps, I know they're working on them, but I think a few new maps coming soon could really help. Just because obviously the player base is already small with it being behind a paid alpha. I think they just need to be a little careful that the player base could drop off if they're just repeating and repeating. And I know that that's the nature of it. You can't really do anything about that, but I just think being able to add one quite soon would just breathe a massive amount of excitement and life back into it, which I think is important to keep going. I think games can get stale, especially in this kind of development stage, and when people have paid so much money to play it, people start feeling like entitled for more content, and you just want to be careful that people don't start getting angry. Not that I think they're doing anything wrong with their current model. It would be really nice to see that. So yeah, just that was a quick little kind of my first impressions of Escape from Tarkov. I love this game, and I'm going to continue to play it, continue to make videos on it, and continue to give my impressions and show off some of the cool things that I get to do. I think I'll be trying to run some with some guys soon, and just kind of to show, like, working as a team, what can be done. And yeah, thanks so much. Bye bye.